here it is. It is a XCMG XC210U. It's a 2019. It's got about 930 odd hours on it. I've only had it for a few days. Got it Sunday, today's Wednesday, so we've used it a little bit just to try things out. So as you can see right here, it was a rental machine. Right there, this I think is the rental number, and then this is the Ritchie Brothers number I bought this through. As you can see, people have smashed into it, and it's got dents right here. It's got a bunch of mud in it, so I'm not really sure why. I don't know if it just never got cleaned out or what, but you can see all the scratches down the counterweight. Let's Dig would not be happy about whoever put all these in here. He's very particular about his counterweights, but I think what we're thinking is to paint this back counterweight John Deere gray. It'll look a little different, and then we may put lettering back on here. Probably not the lettering for the machine, probably something else. Maybe the Sasser Excavation or something. Got right here, someone really hit something hard that dented this in. This panel's been dented in, so that's got to come off and get straightened out. We started working on taking off the glue and the logo. As you can see, the bugs are sticking to it, but we got some chemicals to start ripping that off. There's been a spot where someone's hit there. Up here where someone's hit right here, slightly dented that in. So like I said, it's not without blemishes, but the cost difference was too much for me to pass on, just due to the financial resources that I have starting a business. We can do a little bit of a walk around. So we start right here behind the cab. It's no different than traditional excavator. Right there is your valve to switch between control patterns. Another valve body. You can see up in there got the spin motor, and the big valve body that you typically see. Here is your air filters, and it does have a another one up there. It's not really a filter, it's just that oh shoot, like a pre-cleaner. Knocks all the dust out of the air so it doesn't suck it into the filter. It keeps your filters cleaner, dusty conditions. In here we got 2 batteries, all the coolers. It's got the screens on the front. Looks like you can take them off or just blow it out easy. We got the disconnect, which I have not turned off since we've had it, and I think it doesn't really have any power bleed, so that's a good thing. I'm sure if I left it for a while I'd turn it off. Here on the right side you got all your filters. Here'd be your filter for your pilot controls, I would think. In there, fuel, that's engine oil, so that's pretty handy to have all that right here. The pump, and I think, let's see if I see a brand of pump on this. I heard that it possibly has Kawasaki pumps. I know the new ones do. I'm not sure if this one does. I was hoping it might, but I'm not sure on this one if it does. It does have DEF on it. It is a Chinese made machine, so a little different. Stuff's in harder to shut this panel. It's harder to understand the monitor. I mean, it's not a John Deere, a Cat, or any of that, but there's also a big price difference. It's got very low hours, as you can tell. The idlers, the tracks, all of that. I mean, it has like virtually no wear. This one does have a CM or a CP thumb on it. It is set up to have a coupler, and it's also dual plumb, so it has an extra plumb there if you want to run that for something else and still have the thumb working, which is really, really nice. So I mean, it comes dual plumbed, plus it has plumbing for a coupler. It looks like at some point someone ripped the thumb off. It's got a different size pin, it looks like, for the thumb at the top. Looks like there's been welding on it, like I assume, but that they have damaged it at some point. But that could have just been what color they painted it, the black, when they put their thumb on originally. So right in this panel is your def. I lift this up here. So like I was saying, it does have def. So here's your def tank. Looks like we got a def leak here. There's something leaking in here. Because I see, looks like that's either water or def leaking. So that's not a great sign for this part. And it's got a bunch of dirt in it. We haven't pressure washed this thing at all. Or anything. We just really wanted to make sure it's working before we take it to a job it needs to go to. So we want to run it a little bit, make sure that everything was good. It's hard to get these little things on that hold it on and lock. So up here, so when it did show up, it didn't have a fuel cap on it. So this, my homemade fuel cap temporarily. Did come with a full tank of fuel, but I don't know, you know, how much water, how long it's been sitting, how much water. So I added some stuff to help the water get out. Plus we got the fuel separator or water separator filter on it. So I don't know if I'll change that right away or wait, because it's probably going to take a bunch of water out of the fuel system because of that not having a fuel cap. So it does also have a grate, safety grate on top of the cab here. So that's really nice. A KPM spin motor. Underneath here is your valve body we saw below. There's that pre-filter. As you can see, the lines going up. So these two little lines that run is for the hydraulic coupler. It does not have one, but I suspect I'll be getting one pretty soon. And then they got your dual plumb, so plumbing on for each side of the boom that goes for the double plumb, all the way up there. And then in here is the engine, which it has a Cummins engine in it. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to buy this machine, was because it has a Cummins engine in it. So that was a plus for me. As you can see right there, it does have def. So the 2018 version of this doesn't have def, but the 2019 does have def. So I bought one that does have def on it. So we're gonna see how that all goes. As you can see, there is a bit of rust and stuff around. This was a rental machine, so you know, everybody's different operators and stuff. So it does have dings, scratches as we walked around. I'll give you another look. It's not perfect, but it is, I guess, mine now. So we'll probably try to start cleaning it up some. I mean, it needs pressure washed, it needs this and like that, but it's got to go to jobs first. So we're just trying to get it mechanically sound. It's got a few jobs it needs to go to pretty much right away. I didn't plan it this way. It just happened to work out to where this thing was coming in, or I decided to buy it, and then I got about 2-3 jobs that it is got to go to. So as you can see, a CP thumb, like I said before, it's hooked up to one of the dual outputs. Looks like the smaller one. I'm not sure if there's I assume there's a flow difference between them. Looks like to me there's a flow difference, but the thumb, and this has an XCGM 48-inch digging bucket on it. But what I think is going on here, as you can see, the thumb is literally going into the bucket. And what I think is happening here is this thumb is designed to have a coupler, to have a hydraulic coupler back here, which this machine either had on it, someone took it off, or never did. They just ran it the way it was, because right there is the lines for the coupler, and there's buttons in there for the coupler. There is no coupler on here, so I don't know if they took it off or what, but obviously it had been on there for a while, because it has wore through the metal of the front of the bucket right there where this thumb comes around and hits it. So we got to get that. But yeah, this is an XCGM 48-inch digging bucket. So That was one of the reasons I bought this specific machine, was because it had a thumb, which we couldn't tell that was hitting and the alignment was off. The thumb and the 48-inch digging bucket. The 48-inch digging bucket was important to me because a lot of these machines that are on the market had smaller buckets. This also has the thumb is the style that has 2 longer ones on the outside and 2 narrow ones on the inside. The only thing we found so far is, if you can see it, I don't know if you guys can, but there is like, I don't know, 1/2 inch of play in this boom, in the end of that boom bushing. So not sure if we can sleeve that, you know, build a sleeve to go in there so they hone it out a little bit more, put a sleeve in there, weld the sleeve in to be tighter, and we'd obviously have to drill a hole for where the grease zerk goes in, or if it's better to chop that whole bushing at the end of the boom and put a new one on there and re-weld it. Still not sure. I think the bushing idea, I came up with that just now as I was talking to you, thinking about that. But so far I really like it. I did have one issue with it so far, which is yesterday it's 90 some odd degrees out here, and I was running it, and when I had the AC maxed out and everything, and it was getting hot. It actually gave me an alert that it was overheating. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. It could be a compilation of, you know, that the air filters need cleaned out, bunch of different stuff. We dumped some cleaner in the cooling system, it goes through and you dump it out eventually, so probably put new coolant in it. I just saw this bolt doesn't have a nut or a washer on it that holds that door on. You need to get that dealt with. Like I said, we haven't really gone through the machine too well. We greased it. That was a shoot. I think I spent probably 5, well, it might have been longer, 5-6 hours trying to get every grease zerk I possibly can. I got every grease zerk on this entire machine to finally work except for one. And it's a double-sided, so one on each side, and I got one side to take, so I just pumped a crap ton in it. And I'm hoping with us running it a little bit, since it's been sitting down there at the lot or where it was stored, I'm hoping, me using it a bit, it'll help that we can get it back up there and re-grease it. But we're going to use it for probably 10 or so hours, and then we're going to go back up to the house. We're going to change all the filters, all the oil, or at least the engine oil, drain the coolant out, go through, change every filter. We're going to grease it all again, even just because I want to make sure we got through on every single one and got a bunch in them, because a lot of them took, I went through like 3, 4, maybe 5 tubes of grease on this thing. I want to make sure we get even more in it, because there's nothing worse than metal on metal wearing. There's no reason for that, which is, I think, the reason why that main pin down there wore out, because the grease zerk didn't work. And actual zerk was bad, so we put a new zerk in it, and it worked right away and pumped it full. So I think what happened was that because it was with a rental, it just wouldn't take, no one ever greased it, and it just wore out. But like I said, it's only got 36 hours. Let me go ahead, let me shut this panel door. We'll go ahead and get in the cab and check that part out. The cab. So don't mind all this. This is just had me some drinks in there. Also, we got the 2 dogs with us. Oh, we did check the finals yesterday to make sure. We added a little bit of oil in them just to make sure that they had plenty in them. We checked them, and then we added a little bit more. So here's the cab. So we got a monitor. It's not a touch screen. You got to use these buttons, but it's a pretty nice monitor. Still haven't figured out, it has a camera on the back, but I still haven't figured out how to get in the monitor and get that. It's got, this thing would open, but it can't open because of this. But it's got a sun shield, obviously front windshield. This is what I was talking about the rust. There's just a little bit of rust right here. Not sure what happened there. I don't know. And then you got the bottom glass. Seat's pretty comfy. These I feel like need adjusted upwards though. I'm not sure how to do that, but these need to come up, and I don't know if I can get them to come up, but these are awful low, these joysticks. So maybe I just need to lower the seat way down so then the joysticks feel higher up. But that's one thing I don't like, because they like hit my legs the way I operate. We have a foot pedal, then your stick pedals, and I don't know what that foot pedal is. I thought it was a straight foot pedal, but it does not track the motors, so I'm not really sure. Back here behind the seat we got us a fire extinguisher, and then over here we got your radio controls under this. We got air conditioning back here. Don't know what that switch does. This is the beacon light. This is your DEF on and off. Here would be if it had a coupler on it. That's why I said it's wired for one and plumbed for one. And then you got all these buttons. So this is your throttle. You got rev down automatically, fast track, lights, windshield wiper, spray, no beeper. Not sure what that one does. That's the camera. Okay, that's how I turn the camera on. Right there's the camera. I didn't see that. An engine diagnostic, which it puts it up here. There is one engine code I haven't figured out. Let's actually see if I turn it on. It does have one engine code, and I think it was yesterday. I don't know if I can clear the code. See, this thing is beeping at me like there's something. And see, this is my engine fault code. Let me click that off so we don't listen to that. I don't know what that beeping is about. Did that yesterday and I thought it was because it was getting hot, but apparently maybe not. Right there is my fault code. I don't know if you guys can read that, but I don't know exactly how to get a hold of. I have to call the dealer today about that. So we got a throttle, so let's start it up. Like I said, it's pretty quiet. I mean, you can barely hear it here in the cab. It idles up higher though. It's like it starts out low, then it like idles way up, so I'm not sure if it does stuff in the mornings or what. But here would be to the camera so you can see behind you, so it goes like split screen right there, it looks like. So yeah, figured that one out right now. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. I was trying to figure out how to get to the camera. I was trying in the menu. There's like different modes that go up here. And so yeah, and then if you hit this, it changes your track speed to fast. These are all the lights. Yeah, beeper like what I just explained. Yeah, so pretty nice. We got both the DEF tank, and it also tells you if it's regenning in here on the board, but it also tells you how much DEF, how much fuel, temperature. Really all you can get on here. It's not really doesn't have I guess you want to call adjustment. Like I can't change any of those gauges, at least I have found so far. This is what I was talking about, the sticks. Like the sticks are like against my legs. I want them like higher, but that's just personal preference. These are basically the joysticks that I have in my 50G. They're the same. This also has a thumb. This is the thumb control, which these are buttons versus I like the I guess you want to call it like a roller. You roll this side to side and that does the thumb. That's how my Mini is. It like is a slider, and I like that better than the buttons. I just feel like you're more smooth with it, but you know, a lot of this just has to take time to get used to the machine too. So as you can see, there's the thumb. But see how like it makes you bang it up and down versus just be smooth. It like smacks it, makes it bang a bunch. It's because like you can't be smooth with the. So I don't really care for that, but like I said, the thumb looks like it's built to have a coupler on this machine, which I can add one because it's plumbed for it all. But I gotta find a coupler to buy to do that with. So I don't know if I'm gonna try to find a used one. If you guys know of any place to get like a used coupler, this is a 210 so size machine, and I probably, if I did a coupler, I would fix that bushing and that boom right now I'm not too worried about it. I think it's already, I think the damage is already done. I don't think there's anything I can do to like correct the damage as of right now. But yeah, it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like the rev up and stuff, like this is weird. Like as you see, it says eco, and then you get to 5, and then it goes to S as I'm going up in the throttle, and then it goes to high, and then it goes to high 10. So I don't, it's like the RPM of the engine. So I'm not really sure, like it acts like eco is like, if I go to eco 5, which is what I ran on yesterday, it's like half throttle. So I'm not really sure. Normally you would set the mode up here, is what I thought. So like it's like high, low, whatever. It's just like in my Mini you have like different levels that you can be, but it seems like this one's on the throttle. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't been in another 210 like a Deere or any of that stuff to know like, hey, this is, you know, this is how they normally are. But it seems kind of weird that it's on the throttle. I know that that's like how they work in like the other machines, like that's the same way, but it just seems awful weird to me. So well guys, thanks for watching Indiana Farm Boy. From me and the boys, we appreciate it. We are gonna get back to work, try to get a few things done this afternoon.